Hi, this is CBRadioMagazine.com, and today we're going to look at the Galaxy DX959 AM and single sideband 40 channel radio. This radio from Galaxy does feature a large S meter, and it also has a 5-digit frequency counter. Let's zoom in and have a closer look at the individual features. Looking up close at the radio, you'll see that it does have a volume and squelch combo knob. This is a two-part knob. It also has a mic gain control knob here. The mic gain, you can push the knob in and it will activate a Roger beep. So pushing it in once will activate it, pushing it in and having it pop back out again will inactivate the Roger beep. There's an RF gain control. Up above here you've got a switch. This is going to control the meter functions. You can do SWR, modulation, or power. This control here is your A&L, noise blank A&L, for cutting out the static or electrical noise. And this feature here is a switch that controls either the CB, PA function, or it also has a GNF function, which is a special Galaxy noise filter that cuts out the high frequency noise, and it's supposed to be used for pulling out weak signals on single sideband. Up top we have a variable talkback control. You can push it on or off to turn it on. This talkback control is variable, so you can adjust the level of loudness. On the right hand side here we've got the clarifier. That's your control for tuning in stations on single sideband. Let's move over to the right here and have a look. On the right side of the radio here we have a dimmer control. The dimmer adjusts the brightness of the display. You can turn it down, adjust the brightness, or you can turn it completely off by pushing it in. It'll turn off both the channel and the frequency display. Radio has an RF power control. This is a variable RF power control. With this power control you can set your dead key as low as 1 watt or a half watt and swing up from there, or you can turn it all the way to the right for full output. Now this is adjustable inside using two pots inside the radio, so you can set it to your liking. Has your mode switch here for AM, upper sideband, and lower sideband. And over here you've got a tone control, so you can adjust the sound quality on the radio for either low tones, medium tones, or high tones, and that can help sometimes if you're having static as well. The frequency counter is a 5-digit frequency counter. Normally I prefer 6 digits, but you know, this one is helpful if you do decide to modify this radio, which you can for additional frequencies. If you wanted to be able to go to 27.455 or such, once you perform those modifications, this frequency counter will allow you to see where you are. Here we have the S meter. The thing that's really nice about the Galaxy 959 is it does have a very large Galaxy S meter that'll show your modulation, power output, the incoming signal, and also can be used to measure your SWR. It's nice because it is large and it seems to be more accurate than some of the other smaller meters that you run into. Internal meters and radios, you know, are notorious for not being real accurate anyway, but it is nice to have one that is larger and gives you a little bit more scale of adjustment to see what you're working on. We use this Galaxy DX959 and found out that it does fairly well in transmit power. This is the newer Galaxy 959, so it has different transistors than the older version did. They do allow for a little bit higher dead key and more output. The output on the radio is easily over 20 watts on both AM and single sideband after tuning it up. Modulation was really good. We actually tried running it with our desk mic here, and it was very loud, especially on AM. On sideband, it had good audio quality. It wasn't the loudest radio I've ever had on sideband or the clearest necessarily, but it definitely did well. The AM really is what I noticed though in terms of modulation and loud audio. Overall, the Galaxy DX959 is a very nice sideband radio. The multiple features on it is really what makes this radio something that's fun to have in your mobile. You know, you've got your variable power, which is great. You know, you can run an amplifier, turn it all the way down if you wanted for the input of the amplifier. And then when you're running barefoot, you can turn the variable all the way up. It's got the adjustable talkback, which is nice. If you're running an echo or an echo mic, you could obviously use that talkback to see where you're going, how it sounds. It has the Roger beep on it if you do want to use that. It has a nice tone control, and it also has the neat Galaxy filter. I didn't really get a chance to utilize that on sideband, but it does seem like a neat feature. It definitely did cut down on the static when I used it. And then it has the nice S meter and also the nice display. So yeah, I definitely think anybody should be proud to own this radio. It has a lot of features, a lot of fun, and very nice Galaxy DX959. Covers on the Galaxy 959, and now we can see the inside of the radio. On this radio there are multiple adjustment points that most people would like to know. We'll zoom in and have a look at those. Near the back of the board here, you're going to have your adjustments. The ones we're going to look at today are your AM power adjustments, your modulation adjustment, and your sideband adjustments. We'll start off with the AM high and low power. Now, since this radio has variable power, you can set it for both the high and low power positions. VR18, located right here, that is our AM low power adjustment. The AM high power adjustment is right here. It's VR14. So you've got these two adjustments. The low power adjustment is going to adjust the power with the variable in the very left position. The high power adjustment will adjust it for the very right position. So once again, that's VR18 for your low power and VR14 for your high power. The next one people are going to wonder about is the AMC control, the modulation. That's going to be right here. That is VR16. That's your AM modulation. The next one we'll look at is your ALC. Your single sideband ALC control is VR13. It's located right here. And the last one I'll show you is the single sideband power adjustment. That's VR17. So those are your points at the back of the radio there that most people are going to want to adjust. I will show you up front here your canisters for adjusting the sideband frequencies for lower sideband and upper sideband AM, if you do need to fine tune those at all. They're located underneath the frequency counter board. So if you actually want to access these, you have to remove this board. It's got a pin system here that's going to be going into a socket, so you have to be careful when you remove it and pull it straight up so that the pins all pull out of the socket correctly. And then you can access the frequency adjustments here if you need to tune the radio back on frequency or trying to get the clarifier at 12 o'clock.